warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for being here today. We would like to present a topic in Islamic civilization, which is the era of Abbasiyyad from educational point of view. Let's move to the introductions.
The kingdom of the Abbasiyyad, or in Arabic is called Al-Abbasiyyid, is the name given to the Caliph of Baghdad regarding the removal of the kingdom of the Umayyads by the second Islamic government. Meanwhile, in 750, when they managed to defeat the Umayyad army on the battlefield, this government seized power. This kingdom flourished for 2 centuries, but slowly experienced a period of decline after the rise of the Turkish army they created. This kingdom finally ended in 1255 when the Mongol army commander destroyed Baghdad in Hulaguhan. In their attempt to overthrow the Umayyad Empire, the Abbasid Empire desperately wanted to find a presence in Damascus. The successor to Caliph Abu al-Abbas, which is al-Mansur, has moved his administrative center to Baghdad in Iraq, which is the capital of ancient Persia. In addition, they also use the stones from the Persian building for the current administrative center. The Abbasids developed their Muslim rule and imitated absolute Persian rule. In addition, they also accept non-Arab Muslims. This helped to integrate Arab and Persian culture, but this step alienated many of their Arab supporters.
Okay, now we move in economic in era of Abbasiyyad. First of all, the Abbasid era is considered to be the richest period in the history of the Islamic Caliphate. Furthermore, the classical and modern historians clearly agree to position the reign of Caliph Harun al-Rashid in 170 Hijrah until 194 Hijrah as the period of the greatest economic achievement and deserving of the golden age or nicknamed golden period. The success of Baghdad in becoming a world trade champion definitely had something to do with Daulah Abbasid status as the world power at the time. Political stability, effectiveness of administrative management, and the strong moral character of the population also contributed to the rapid growth of the city of Baghdad, and the buying power of the citizens of Baghdad at that time clearly shows the country's luxury and economic strength, one of the most important in this context. In addition, the three economic sectors that are the basics of the wealth of the Bani Abbasiyad government is agriculture sector. The Abbasiyad government has had hard to develop this field by repairing its market. Among the steps taken are the building of drains, the expansion of rivers and canals, the opening of new agricultural land, the provision of research, and the construction of dams. Furthermore, in agriculture, the Abbasid Empire has successfully emerged as a well-known empire. Agriculture also made progress due to the recognition of the government of the need for agriculture as the primary source of national income, and also because fertile landowners are given respect and good treatment by the government. The types of agriculture product in Abbasid era such as cereals, fruits, vegetables, livestock, and many more.
Now we move to industrial sector in era Abbasi. This gap between the government and the private sector in the manufacturing sector. For example, arm factory, ships, flags of paper fabrics. The table below show the type of industry found in Abbasi era. In manufacturer, in Baghdad, Shiraz, and Isfahan, were making the weaving sheets and rope. In Egypt and Syria, making a dishes industry. In Baghdad, Egypt, and Syria, well, in making the glassware, pottery, and mosaic industry. In Andalus and Morocco, we're making the leather goods and weapons industry. In Yemen, Khorasan, Bahrain, and Lebanon, we're making the jewelry and gemstone industry. And finally, in Iraq, Egypt, Morocco, and Andalus, we're making the paper for industry. Now, we move to the trade sector in Abbasid era. The factors in advance of trade, the opening of new regions that provide a lot of space. The development of the shipping industry made it easier for traders to move. Muslim scholars create work and clarify and promote the law of business. Arab business skills since the days of ignorance. There are positive measures that taken by a Abbasid government in developing the trade sectors. First, constructing a market center on the main street filtered with air. Two, build lighthouses as the reference merchant vessel. And third, strengthen land and sea protection measure.
Okay, now we move to political aspect in era Abbasid. First, political aspect in era Abbasid was the longest ruling Islamic caliph and played a part in creation of a glorious Islamic civilization, which is from 750 to 1250. The Abbasid dynasty controlled the Muslim caliph about 500 years compared to the other dynasty. After that, that's why this era was regarded as the golden age of Western history. Moreover, in era Abbasid has three stages of growth. First, age of development. Second, age of split. And third, age of collapse. Moreover, in era Abbasid was the second mighty Islamic caliph after Umayyah dynasty. And then the Abbasid caliph was destroyed by the Mongol invasion in 1258. Then, in Islam's power. This is because a strong and stable political structure that have been used by Bani Abbasid. This political did not exist during Bani Umayyah era. Moreover, the Bani Abbasi adopted the idea which in turn grew into their political structure and further strengthening. So this idea was applying to this government and suitable in political culture. Lastly, political in era Abbasi was political structure. This capital was moved to the new city of Baghdad because Caliphate now try to enter a new phase.
Next, we move to educational in the era of Abbasid. In the Abbasid period, the growth of education was faster than that of the Umayyad government because there were many revolts, particularly from the Umayyad era of the cities. Furthermore, the Umayyad caliphs concentrated on the spread of Islam and opened new territories, but in the Abbasid period, the Islamic government was powerful. Two-thirds of the world, and efforts at that time were more focused on improving the education and economic system. Next, among the factors of the development of science in the Abbasid era are the caliph's contribution and support. Secondly, translation operation in different areas of expertise. Thirdly, the political and
financial stability of the government of Abbasiyyad. Fourthly, Abbasid government policy that prioritized information. Instances of strong facilities for education. Among the educational institutions during the Abbasid rules were mosque, caliphate palace, libraries, and school. In the Abbasid period, among the field of knowledge explore are tafsir science, hadith science, fiqh science, and monotheism science. Among the field of expertise based on reason in the Abbasid period are mathematics, astronomy, chemistry, physics, geography, and medicine. In the Abbasid period, among the result of the growth of knowledge such as Muslim are becoming dominant. Secondly, translation operation are developing. Thirdly, more libraries have been installed. Fourthly, several educational institutions are being established such as school, college, and university. Many scholars of Islam were born.
Conclusion. In conclusion, many lesson can be learned from the glorious tale of the Abbasid Empire after appreciating and learning from it. In terms of curriculum preparation, the education system during the rule of the Abbasid was usually an orderly system, a kingdom that can be considered to be one of the most glorious time in the history of Islam was the Abbasid Empire. The history of this era has given today Muslim many lessons in order to be used as a reference and encouragement in life. The rise, fall, and contribution must be observed by any Muslim.
Okay, that's all from us. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.